In the 1600s, Scotland was an independent kingdom, a poor country with a small population, poor soil, poorly governed, and often lawless. The kingdom had a population of Celtic Highlanders in the mountains north, and a larger and tamer population of lowlanders, who were of roughly the same ancestral stock as the English, and who rented farms from big landowners. The border areas between England and Scotland had been a region of raiding and counter-raiding for centuries. Scotland's king, James VI, was a cousin of Britain's Queen Elizabeth I. The Virgin Queen, daughter of the formidable Henry VIII, was one of England's greatest rulers. She died childless in 1603, and as the closest relative, James of Scotland inherited the English throne. Britain did not exist yet. He became James I of England and retained his title of King of Scotland, so he is sometimes called James I and VI. He founded the ill-starred dynasty of the Stuart kings, which eventually included Charles I, Charles II, and James II. Scotland remained a separate kingdom. Ireland was an intractable problem for the English, whose involvement in Ireland dates back to Norman times. For centuries, Ireland was a tumultuous medley of small kingdoms and contesting lords. A particular problem in the age of Elizabeth, she reigned from 1558 to 1603, was that the Irish Catholics regarded the Protestant English with dismay. England had turned Protestant under Henry VIII. Ireland also offered a possible invasion channel to England's enemies, Catholic France and Spain, who accepted Irish exiles, and sizable numbers of Irish served in the French and Spanish military. Ireland offered an avenue of invasion because of its proximity to Scotland and England. In 1595, yet another Irish rebellion occurred against the English. Lord Lieutenant Essex, with an army of 20,000, could not subdue the rebels. Elizabeth replaced him with Lord Mountjoy, a more capable and entirely ruthless commander. Mountjoy's campaign destroyed farms and used the strategy of starving the enemy. The war damaged existing infrastructure and caused a sizable population loss. The result was a depopulated Ulster, and land was declared forfeit because it had belonged to the rebels. Leyburn, 62. In 1603, when James of Scotland became King of England, he declared much of the rebel Irish lords' land forfeit. Eventually, some 3 million acres were involved, and rich Protestant English proprietors took up much of this land. Settling Scots in Ulster interested some of England's movers and shakers. In Ulster, settling Protestants promised to erect a bulwark against Irish rebellion, and putting rent-paying settlers on the confiscated land promised large incomes over long periods of time. The native Irish peasantry was regarded as an annoyance, and even loyal native Irish were treated shabbily. Leyburn, 72. By 1620, there were some 50,000 Scots and English settled in Ulster, and by 1640, that number had doubled. In an epic and exceedingly complicated bit of history, 2 Irish earls had rebelled, been pardoned, and were once more suspected of treason. In 1607, Hugh O'Neill, Earl of Tyrone, and Rory O'Donnell, Earl of Tyrconnell, and many of their family and retainers boarded a French ship and sailed away into permanent exile in Catholic Europe.